Hello, 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 and welcome back to the Foreclosure Deals Coach podcast. I am your host and Foreclosure Deals Coach, Donnie Corum. And hey, listen, I am so excited about the new video version of this podcast. You know, everybody's switching to this format, and listen, you can't beat them. Join them. You get to see my pretty face, and I wanted to jazz it up today with a little wagwan. I bought this hoodie I'm wearing in Jamaica. Spent a week in Jamaica with my boy Ethan. Shout out to Ethan for taking me on that trip. And I learned so much, not only about the Florida culture, my family's actually from Florida, but about the real estate market and what's happening in the Florida market. And I'm hoping that we're going to be able to add an international flair to the Foreclosure Deal Coach podcast in very short form. Let's get to it. We talked about it on the last show, how we're going to restructure the show into a breakdown of mindset, tactics, and tools. One of the things I didn't mention is I want to go on a deal expedition with you each and every single week on the show. So we're going to hop in to the Privy application. Stay tuned for that here in a little bit. The fun thing about this new video format is now you can see as I'm hopping out there searching for deals in random local markets all across the place. Hopefully we're going to get your hometown, your marketplace. Send me notes, man. Say, hey, Johnny, let's do a deal hunt in Macon, Georgia. Or let's do a deal hunt up in Trenton, New Jersey. I would love to bring that element to the show, and I hope that you will join me week in, week out as we go hunting for deals. But the opener of every show is how you think about how you're going to approach your real estate investing business. So with that in mind, we're bringing a quick mindset hit. Check this out. The road to success and the road to failure are almost exactly the same by Colin Davis. Now, think about that for just a minute. Whether you are succeeding in what you want to do in real estate investing or you are not succeeding, the journey that you're on is going to feel exactly the same. So how do you know if you're on the right road? Well, let me give you some hints on that. Are you taking action? Are you out there doing deal analysis? Okay. Are you learning how to find deals in your local marketplace? Have you connected with our lending partner, Traction Capital, to get your money lined up and get right with your finances so when the right deal comes along, you're ready to strike? Are you out there meeting contractors so you can fix your deals to market? And do you know how to get your property sold because you're understanding your market right now? If you are taking action, that's how you know. Other than that, whether you're not going to make it in this industry or you are, the journey you're on when you woke up this morning is going to feel almost exactly the same. Think about that, okay? The next 24 hours will dictate whether you're heading down the right road or the wrong road. Okay, but you're not gonna be able to tell unless you're absolutely positive taking action. That one got me a little bit, man. I was super excited by the fact that every day I wake up going, I know I'm on the right road. People are responding to the podcast in ways they haven't in years. We are out there. We got the Facebook Live group. You got to check out the Facebook group right across the bottom there. Join up with the Facebook group and get part of the action, man. Because I'm telling you, we are going to be the largest foreclosure investment community anywhere, bar none. It starts right here, and I'm very happy to be Foreclosure Deals Coach and be a part of the movement that we are creating right now. So the road to success, the road to failure, very similar. With that, let's go to our second round of the show, where we're going to talk a little bit about a deal in a local market. So we just had somebody join the group in Atlanta, Georgia. What's up, ATL? Right? And so people who are getting in the game are always trying to figure out, well, how do I find deals in the local market? Well, you have to get the data that you need to find those deals. And the best way to get the data in the past was to become a real estate agent, right? Go through that process, take the licensing exam, do all that rigmarole, so then you can access the MLS. Now you got the MLS, but the problem with the MLS is it's not designed to give you it's designed to give you all the properties, right? The idea of the MLS is no bias. It's going to give you just every property priced where it's supposed to be. Well, this is where the Privy application jumps in. We can hop in here, right? And I want to show you, I'm going to share a screen with you briefly because you need to see how Privy is going to affect every aspect of your real estate investment business once you get going. And you want to download Privy from my affiliate link. I would greatly appreciate that. It's bit.ly/FDC Privy. You're going to see it scrolling there at the bottom of the screen for the entire duration of the video, which is so cool that I got video. Y'all can see me right now. You can see my cool jersey. This is exciting to me, all right? But here we are in Privy. and we just popped into Atlanta, Georgia. I'm in Colorado Springs, Colorado right now. I don't have a license for real estate in Atlanta, right? I've been to Atlanta a handful of times in my life. I don't need to go through the hassle of getting my Georgia real estate license. Instead, I can hop in a Privy right now. It filters, you can see here, for fix and flips with an ARV of 75% or less. So it's basically determining based on what sold around it, this looks like a deal. Now, that doesn't mean it's a deal. It certainly doesn't mean it's a foreclosure. One of the sayings I use all the time is not all deals are foreclosures and not all foreclosures are deals. But if you are constantly looking at deals, you're going to get acclimated to not only finding deals in your market, but analyzing those deals quickly. So when they pop up, you're ready to strike. All right. So a real quick search, and I like the cheap ones. I like to buy as low as possible because there's always a market for the entry-level home. There's always a new buyer. Somebody's turning 26, 27 today. Happy birthday, right? And their first thought, looking at their young family, is going, man, I got to buy a house. And that's happening every day, all the time. So the entry-level buyers never go away. Okay, this is a property here on 282 Oak Southeast Drive. It's listed. It's a 3-bedroom, 1-bath, built in 1962. Right? It's listed for $185,000. Is it a deal? Well, Privy's algorithm thinks it is a deal. That doesn't necessarily mean that it is. Okay, it's doing the initial work to find out based on what else is selling around it. This is what it thinks it's going to be worth. So you have to go from there and determine if it's a deal. Now, a deal doesn't just mean it's got a ton of equity, right? Sometimes a deal means it's an excellent Airbnb. This one mentions that they're actually attracting investors to this property. We generally want to buy equity, but sometimes we want to buy cash flow. In either case, Privy's doing the heavy lifting, helping you not only get into the market, but then find deals in that market. Is this a deal from an equity perspective? Well, let's take a look. They're asking 185. If we click on the comparables tab here, you can see the houses around it and what they've sold for in this little chart here. We're looking for distance. We're looking to see how far away houses that sold recently and what they went for to compare them to the house that we're buying. Well, the house that we have, our subject property, if you will, is 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, about 1,000 square feet, no basement to report. Okay. Around it, you've got a property 0.37 miles away, right? 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, sold in July for $255. We going to use that? No. Why? July comps are just not accurate anymore. We want the most recent comps because the market shifted drastically in the last 3 to 6 months. Okay. So we're looking at what sold in Atlanta, Georgia, near this particular property in November. Well, here's one that sold on Glen Rose Southwest Court, went for $247. Looks like it's about the same square foot. It does have 2 more bathrooms. That's a huge jump in the valuation model. So I don't necessarily want to use that one either. Ideally, I'm finding another 3-bedroom, 1-bath house because that's ultimately comparable. But Privy wants to give you a lot of data and let you sift that down to the data that's usable for you, as opposed to giving you nothing. You have nothing to go off of, and then you have to extrapolate from there. Okay. So here we are looking for a 3-bedroom, 1-bath. And my first instinct on this is it's probably not a deal from an equity angle, right? There are houses selling nearby for $245. Here's one on Glen Rose Circle, 3-bedroom, 1-bath. It went for $245. That's not a bad. I mean, that's enough equity. If our house is nice, that I'd at least look at it. What I want to see now is how does the comparable compare to the property that I'm looking at buying. So sometimes you got to hop out of Privy and go to the external listing to get more information about the property. Here we are. And then sometimes there's just no more data. There's no more pictures available. This is all that's out there. Okay. My point in this is you're getting somewhere. You're walking down the road of consistently analyzing. I'm going to say right now, probably no deal where we're talking about flipping a property, but certainly still could have worked or still could work for somebody looking to buy a cash flowing property in the Atlanta area. And literally every day, Privy can be set up to send you deals in your local market. You've got to get a tool that allows you to view the market as an investor would view the market, not as somebody outside of it, right? You wouldn't trade stock without a trading platform, right? So a lot of people go into real estate investing. Where do I find the deals? We'll start by getting an investor view of the market. You're going to want to get Privy to do that. That's where it's at right now as far as that goes. Okay. So let's move on from there. The next part of the show is discussing some current stuff that's going on in the foreclosure market in the form of an article. So let's pop that up right now. I got a great article for you from Denver Rights. This is a Denver-based article, and let's get that going here. Here we go. Sorry, we're trying this out. This is a new process here, so bear with me. We're going to go. All right, there we go. All right, little time there, but we're there now. So if you're watching this on the video version, hi, by the way. We haven't done this yet. If you're not, check out the article. It'll be in the podcast show notes. But basically, it goes down to Colorado's new HOA law. A law passed recently, stopped foreclosure cases in one Green Valley Ranch subdivision. Okay. And the article goes on to talk about how the HOA was putting fines on people's homes in this neighborhood in the Green Valley Ranch area of Denver. And people were losing their homes via foreclosure to the HOA. HOAs generally put liens on properties if people are in non-payment. That's not abnormal. What's abnormal about this is that they were using these fines to kind of predatory take people's houses a little bit, right? Which is a rare thing. So a law was passed that kind of prevented that. Bittersweet. I'm generally not a big fan of legislation, but if you look at how this particular HOA was acting, it made sense that they had to do something to stop people from losing their homes from the HOA. As a foreclosure investor, we're tracking wherever foreclosures might take place, okay? So this HOA was a bad actor, but most HOAs, I would say, are following the process correctly. And the reality is people don't necessarily be able to afford their HOA sometimes. So that creates opportunities for us as investors. You can go out and get the HOA lien list from your title company. We use Heritage Title right now, where you can go out there, you can find liens in a certain bracket, in this case, HOA liens. You can buy those liens from the HOA, and before the property is completely foreclosed on and goes back to the bank, you will be able to purchase the property for the remaining balance. Now, you hear about these tax lien sales that create this image that you're going to be able to buy a property for a $6,000 tax lien, and you're going to own a $300,000 house for $6,000. Listen, I'm not saying it can't happen. I'm saying it's super, super, super rare. Okay. The reality is normally there's a balance there. They can still be a low enough balance that it's a good deal. But this article explains that there's a lot of bad actors in the HOA space. If you're tracking what's going on in that, you might be able to find some deals by tracking down HOA liens. People are behind on their HOA, and you can get a deal before they go into foreclosure. Again, this is not necessarily a foreclosure deal, but it is a deal. Right. And if you're in the finding deal process, which you should always be on the hunt for your next deal, even if you're not ready to buy your first deal, you're doing the homework, you're doing the research, you're learning about how to do it. This is one area where you can be consistently inundated with deals. I call it my deal flow accelerator. And the idea behind it is that every single day you're waking up to Privy notifying you, hey, I found some deals in your local market. You've got an HOA lien system going that say these are properties that are going into foreclosure because they're behind on their HOA. You don't want to evaluate deals as you don't want to luck to determine your deal factor, right? It'd be like running a factory and saying, well, whenever the parts show up for this car, we'll get started again. No, you're building a deal factory that's going to consistently have a flow of deals. And in the coaching, we help you to get that set up. So every single day you are getting deals in your inbox. You are evaluating them, because that changes your mindset from somebody who's just hoping to do a deal to somebody who's got deals to pick from each and every single day. So now you can work on the other important stuff. Okay, so check out this article. It is interesting that HOAs are getting so aggressive with it right now. It's interesting they would have the nerve to take somebody's house, right? You can see here Green Valley Ranch compared to other foreclosures in the area. They're taking people's houses in that area. So the state stepped in and went, no, we're not super cool with that. Okay, you have got to you got to curb that back a little bit. I'm glad they did, but remember, there were some opportunities created for investors by HOAs. That's happening literally every single day. Get out to your title company. This is your So we got our tactic, right? One way to find deals is to reach out to HOAs and get a list of their liens. Another way is to use tools provided by your title company. A title company is part of your team, so they give you an arsenal of tools that you can talk to your title company, get a list of HOA liens, and then you got to follow up, talk to those HOAs, and go, if I bought this, can I buy this lien, or how much do you guys want for this lien, etc. Then obviously you got to find the money to make that transaction happen. In any case, there's lots of room there to do deals outside of the normal, hey, I'm just going to wait for a deal to show up kind of thing. Okay. So we're changing the format of the show because in today's market, you've got to get your mind right, guys. The market is shifting before us. You hear it in my tagline. I get super excited that, the time is now, right? I mean it. The time is absolutely positively now. Okay. And if you're feeling like you want to get going, but don't know where to get started, my advice to you is to hop into the Facebook group. Okay, because inside the group, and you can get there bit.ly/FTC coach group. It's down there in that little tagline, but beneath me here, join the group. Let's have a discussion. We are now having very pointed discussions in those groups about actual deals, about my clients who are doing coaching clients who are finding deals in the local market. And as we branch into other marketplaces, we're going to be analyzing each market individually and bringing only the best deals to the group that we're forming right now. This is the time to get into real estate investing, not when everybody's telling you that prices are low, right? Interest rates went up a while ago. Okay, it's creating opportunity, and those who want to hop into the market today are going to benefit the most. So is your mindset correct? Do you have the right tactics? Do you know what the tools you need to get going? Right? And you're going to find all of those things right here on the Foreclosure Deals Coach podcast, week in, week out. I am fully committed to bringing that to you as a new or experienced foreclosure investor. The time is now. The market's here. I am so excited about what's going to happen from here. All right. So listen, let's not overwhelm the point here. We talked mindset. We went over some tactics. We're dealing with the HOA. We did some tools. What's your next step? Once again, join the Facebook group, become a part of the mission here. You can also download my ebook, The Hidden Foreclosure Market. Hidden Foreclosure Deals Market. I wrote the book. You think I'd remember the title. My bad. But Hidden Foreclosure Deals Market, where I go over some of my favorite source of finding deals right there in my local marketplace. Most importantly, become a part of the conversation. Get your education started. I'd love to be a part of it. And these HOA liens, man, HOAs have been out of whack for so long. It's so good to see that some legislation is popping in right now to prevent people from losing their homes to HOAs. But in that interim, you as an investor understanding that there are some people who are in trouble. There are some people who can't pay those HOA liens. They're going to lose the property to foreclosure anyway. You can swoop in, prevent them from going into foreclosure, and get a great deal on a property. It's not necessarily a foreclosure, but it could become one if an investor like us doesn't show up and save the day. Okay. And that's really how I look at my job here. We're here to help people who are in problematic situations get out of those problematic situations. And in doing so, we are compensated because we can buy the property low, fix it up as it needs to, and return it to the market in retail condition and profit from taking care of that process for somebody else. It's an incredible opportunity for somebody who wants to do that. All right, so that's our show for today. I'm so excited you guys join me each and every single week here on the podcast. Take out those HOA liens, keep tuning in, and listen, this is Donnie Corum, your Foreclosure Deals Coach, thanking you for tuning in each and every single week and reminding you now and always, don't buy a house, buy a deal.